Hello once again. In today's video, I'm reviewing a new product. I just bought this today and it is so cool. I was so surprised when I saw this and I just bought it immediately. I was at Canadian Tire today and this is the first year I've seen them, so they must be new. Canadian Tire is now selling these Noma Heritage series of Christmas lights. They have 3 or 4 different kinds, and they are vintage style Christmas lights modeled after types of Christmas lights that Noma sold in the 40s and 50s. And all except for one type, which does use LED bulbs, all the other Noma Heritage sets are real incandescent bulbs. And I bought this style. This is the glass globe version. And again, I was so surprised when I saw this on the shelf. The first time, when this caught my eye, I thought, oh, there must be LEDs in there and then like a plastic globe over top. No, what you're seeing here are real globe-shaped incandescent bulbs. They are candelabra-based incandescent bulbs, so they screw in and they're replaceable. And this isn't like a normal C7 shaped bulb with a globe placed over it. This is the bulb itself. They are actual G40 shaped bulbs. This set is modeled after the Noma Glow Ray series of Christmas lights that Noma sold from the mid 40s to the early 50s or so. So I was just super excited when I realized what this is, a modern recreation of the Noma Glow Ray Christmas light set using real solid color replaceable 5-watt incandescent bulbs. This cost me $20, making it the second most expensive Christmas light set per bulb that I've ever bought. Some 12 or 13 years ago, I bought one of the very first sets of LED Christmas lights that became available at Canadian Tire when I was a kid. It was like $25 for 30 lights. And at the time, I thought it was the coolest thing ever. But now LED lights are everywhere, and I'm kind of tired of them. I love when I drive by a house at night that's still lit with incandescent, like C7 or C9 incandescent bulbs, or even incandescent mini lights. I always like to see that because that's now becoming a rarer sight. But with these Noma Heritage lights, maybe incandescent holiday lighting is making a comeback. I haven't mentioned this yet, but I did decide this year, first of all, this is the first year I'm gonna have my own Christmas tree. I've never had my own Christmas tree. There it is right there, 4.5-foot artificial tree. That cost me $32 at Walmart. I had to order it online. Nice artificial tree. It feathered out quite nicely. Haven't lit it yet, of course. I decided I wanted to have my own Christmas tree and light it with solid color C7 lamps. So I've spent the last few weeks spending way too much money to buy a few sets of vintage solid color C7 Christmas light sets on eBay. And now I wish I hadn't bought as many sets as I did, because now I found these brand new in Canadian Tire. So, I have not taken these out of the package or plugged them in or anything. I have no idea what these look like, what the quality's like, anything like that. We're going to find that out in this video. So let's take a look here. You get 20 lights in the string. They're spaced a foot apart, so it's a 20-foot string. It's got a 1-year warranty. Radiant and durable. Multicolor. I didn't see anything besides the multicolor. I didn't see any white ones or clear ones or anything like that. Sides don't have anything new. Quite a lot on the back though. They do invite you to connect multiple sets together. The sets are fused, so that's nice. And that's a big advantage of something like this over, for example, the Noma Glow Ray sets. This is going to be far, far safer. Even though it's made in China, where the Glow Ray sets were made in the USA, the Glow Ray sets, they weren't fused. The wiring was rubber, and of course, if you want to use something like a Noma Glow Ray set today, you've got to be careful and mindful of the condition of the wiring and the plug and stuff like that. Something like this is going to be just inherently a lot safer because we now have more stringent electrical safety standards. and it's not going to have any age-related issues. So let's read what we got here. Noma Heritage, it says, Noma has been illuminating and bringing joy to the holiday season for more than 90 years. Our first Christmas light set was introduced in 1927, and since then we have been at the heart of several exciting innovations and traditions. To celebrate our amazing heritage, we brought back some of our favorite string light styles from over the years, including the iconic glass globe. Noma Heritage lights combine the look of Christmases past with today's technology. Cozy up and enjoy the glow of our vintage lights. Merry Christmas, Canada! Very cool. Plugs at both ends. Specifications. Says approximate total length, 20 feet. Lighted length, 19 feet. Number of lights, 20. Approximately a foot between bulbs. And the bulbs are 5 watts each, so the total power consumption of this is going to be 100 watts. So mind your electric bill if you're going to use something like this. They warn you not to connect it in series with LED lights. That's because LED light sets have thinner wire because they don't need as thick of wiring because LEDs use a lot less power. So don't plug this in series with LED light sets. At best you'll blow a fuse. At worst you might overload the LED wiring. Before we open this up, I am going to mention one major concern I had as I was buying these and that I still have now. Where are you going to buy replacement bulbs? I spent way too much time in the store, in the Christmas lighting aisle, looking up and down the aisle for replacement bulbs. I mean, Noma, a major brand, sells these, so surely they sell replacement bulbs. I looked around, I couldn't find any replacement bulbs. Same for all the Noma Heritage sets. I couldn't find replacement bulbs for any of them. Looked at the Canadian Tire website when I got home. They don't appear to sell replacement bulbs. So I've asked a question on the Canadian Tire product page for this. I submitted a question. I said, hey, where do we buy replacement bulbs for this? Because I didn't see them in the store and I don't see them on the website. If and when I get an answer, I will post a pinned comment below this video to see what Noma or Canadian Tire, what they tell me about buying replacement bulbs for this. If it turns out that Noma does not sell replacement bulbs for this, that really sucks and that's really dumb. Pay $20 for this and not have replacement bulbs available? I hope that they do. Where these are new, maybe they just haven't made replacement bulbs available yet. Maybe they will in the future. I hope they do. But I took a look on Amazon and you can buy, luckily, a 25 pack of these bulbs for $13 on Amazon. So that's good. So there is at least some source of replacement bulbs. So that helps ease my worries a little bit. So enough talking, let's dig into this box, see what we get. I'm wondering if we get any documentation which might include something about replacement bulbs, but we'll find out here. Alright, so here's what you get. There's 4 each of red, blue, green, orange, and white. I'm really excited to plug these in. I think these are going to look really, really pretty. So I do want to preserve this box so I can put these away if I ever have to. So that's why I'm not just tearing it apart. So, documentation. Alright, let's see what we get. Oh, it's just safety instructions. Nothing remarkable in the instructions for the most part. It's just your standard safety instructions. They say you can load the cord up to 432 watts, so you can plug 4 sets of these in series and you have 32 watts to spare. They do say replace bulbs only with same type 5 watt max candelabra E12 base lamp. So they tell you what type of replacement bulb you can put in this, at least. And of course, these are standard candelabra bulbs, so if one of these does burn out and you just want to fill it with something that'll be okay to work, a standard C7 5 watt bulb will be a perfectly fine replacement if one of these burns out and you don't have exact replacements. Alright, they're all out of the box and connected to an outlet, a switched outlet. They're not on yet. We'll take a close-up look at a bulb here. So you can see the string itself is just a standard candelabra base string. This is probably common to you know, pretty much any candelabra based Christmas lights that China's turning out these days. The cord itself seems very high quality. It's got, you know, it's modern plastic insulated cord. It seems quite tough. These are rated indoor outdoor. The sockets are plastic, but again, they seem just fine. The quality of the sockets seems just fine. The quality of the bulb seems okay too. None of the bulbs are misshapen or anything like that. Now the color coding, it is an outside coat, and it seems to be okay quality. I don't see any defects in the bulbs, like uneven color coding or anything like that yet, although then again, uneven color coding does make a really pretty effect. All the bulbs have this chalky white stuff. I think that's from being mounted to the cardboard insert. So while the color coding seems to be quite even and good quality, it's not totally robust. A couple of the bulbs have little flakes of missing color near the base, and you can scratch at it with your fingernail and peel the color coding off. So these are rated for indoor-outdoor use, but I reckon out in the weather of the outdoor, the color coding would probably fade and chip and crack before too long. But you know, that's just what happens with these solid color bulbs. And if you're using them indoor, I don't anticipate any issue at all. All right, let's do it. Oh my goodness, these are so friggin' pretty. Let's see if I can lower the exposure. Oh, they're so pretty. I don't see any burned out. That's good. These are so pretty. Ah, I love it. Real globe incandescent bulbs, 5 watts each. The color is just beautiful, really saturated color. Oh, they're starting to warm up. Of course, because these are 5 watts each, these are going to get really hot, especially because the color coding is going to convert some of the light into heat. So the blue ones and green ones especially, they're going to get really hot, but because the bulb is quite large compared to a C7 bulb, these shouldn't get quite as hot as a C7 bulbs. So if you're worried about using lights like this on your Christmas tree, these are okay to put on your tree. You know, people have put 5-watt incandescent bulbs on their Christmas tree for decades. Not as common now, of course. But yeah, these shouldn't get quite as hot as the C7 bulbs that are the same wattage. But wow, the color. Let me turn my overhead light off here. They are so pretty. Now the camera makes it look like that there's a lot of variation in the color. And you can see it when you look really close too. But just at a glance, you don't really notice it. It really is a good quality color coding. But I cannot get over how pretty these are. I bet these are almost every bit as pretty as the Noma glow ray lights of the 40s and 50s. They're so pretty. You do want to be careful when you're moving them around because, of course, big glass bulb, possibility of breaking a bulb accidentally is a bit higher than with C7 bulbs, and especially with mini lights. I've never been a fan of including white bulbs among multicolored bulb sets, but that's what they always did way back in the day, so I guess I won't complain. Now I don't know what to do because I've spent the last few weeks buying up a few sets of candelabra strings with C7 bulbs in them. I've been planning on lighting my tree with C7 bulbs, but I'm gonna admit, I think I like these way more than C7 bulbs. But at 20 bucks a set, you know, and this set alone I don't think would light up this tree adequately. I think I'd need 2 sets. But $40 on 2 sets of Christmas lights, it's just a little too much in my opinion. I'm really glad I bought this set. Hell, maybe I'll do that. You know, YOLO, right? I would love to think that Noma is going to make these a permanent feature of their lineup of Christmas lights. But if these are just a special limited time thing, maybe I will buy another set. And then when bulbs inevitably start burning out. I'll just buy I'll buy the 25 pack of replacement bulbs on Amazon, and that'll last me probably several years. But holy cow, these are so pretty. I can't deal. I've had these running for 15 or 20 minutes now, and they're actually totally cool to the touch. Obviously they're warmed up, but they are by no means too hot to touch. I can just grab any of them. Normally C7 bulbs, because they're smaller in size than these, C7 bulbs will usually get hot enough that you can't touch them. You'll burn yourself if you try to grab and hold on to one, but these, not at all. So these are totally safe to put on your tree. Go right ahead and do it. So yeah, these, you know, if you want to give your Christmas tree a vintage look, but you're concerned about the heat generated by incandescent light bulbs, well, mini lights are obviously the best solution because they produce the least heat. But if you're looking for larger vintage style bulbs to put on your tree, these I think would be the safest option. They definitely run the coolest, cooler than C7 or C9 bulbs. So that is awesome. And boy, I'm kind of regretting buying so many vintage sets of C7 lamps on eBay now, because I think I like these way more. But since I already bought the C7 sets, I'll use them on my tree this year. Maybe next year I'll see how these look, but for now I am gonna put this set somewhere. I'm thinking maybe I'll just string it across here in my apartment, and that should look just beautiful. I can't wait to find a place to put this set. But for now, that is a review of the new Noma Heritage Series vintage style incandescent Christmas light set using G40 incandescent 5-watt globe bulbs. A recreation of the Noma glow ray sets of the 40s and 50s. What a beautiful and really great idea, you know, in an era where LEDs seem to be taking over everything. It's great to see a company acknowledging that there's still a place for incandescent holiday lighting. Nothing looks like it. You can't make LEDs look quite like incandescent bulbs. They have just an aesthetic to them that I don't think we'll ever see recreated by LEDs. Maybe someday, but definitely not right now. And it is just super great to see something like this on the market now, especially because now you don't have to deal with vintage sets and the inherent safety risks that come with using them and the expense that can come with procuring them. So there you go. Thank you so much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.